Welcome back, guys, to this video. Before we move to the sidebar, something is still bugging me here about these block separators. So I think I'm gonna work on them just a little bit more. So I'll change the arrow glow to make it like 2% opacity, make it about 80% spread and a slightly bigger size. So that looks a bit better. Let's reduce the spread to about 60, maybe 50, 40, 50 spread. I think looks pretty good. I'll keep it at 50. Okay, size 5 pixels and opacity 2%. Okay, so now they look just a little better. So I'm just gonna quickly copy this and paste it on the other two separators. All right. So looking at the post formats here, the quote and the links, I think we can get away with adding just a little bit of color to this container, since it needs to have a little contrast with the rest of the elements. So I'm gonna add a very light color to it. I'm gonna copy this bevel color and I'm gonna add it like that. So FA, FA, FA. And I'm gonna do the same for the link. All right, that looks just a bit better. Okay, time to move on to the sidebar. And as you can see from our grid, we have a 3-column sidebar. So let's create a new group, call it sidebar. And the sidebar, I know many of you are familiar with the with lots of the blog themes and WordPress themes and so on. The sidebar is used to display certain widgets, and each widget has a basic form. It has a title and it has content. So the titles in our case are gonna be H3s. So I'm going to start with creating a new group called Widget, and I'm going to say this is a widget title. The color is going to be the same color as the other headings, which is 2B3039, and same goes for the font size, Bree Serif. And I'll make it 18 pixels. Okay. So this is the widget title. Let's do a simple widget that displays a search form. So let's actually do this. Search. And let's do a search box. Rectangle tool. I'll make a box 270 by 42. Like this. We'll call it base. It's going to be white. It's going to borrow the styles from the other white boxes, like that. All right. And let's see what else we can do with it. We can do an icon here, search icon. So grab the custom shape tool. Let's see if we have a magnifying glass around here somewhere. I'm just going to pause this until I find it. Okay, so there it is. I found it after extensive searches. Let's make this 20 or 21 pixels in height. Very, very light color. I'll choose FA, like this. And actually we can barely see it. So let's choose a different color. Yeah, that's much better. So that is the color of the border. Okay, center it. Move it 14 pixels from the left. Like that. And actually, I'm gonna make it just a bit smaller, like 14 pixels. And again, 14 from the left. Okay, very nice. Okay, now this is a style that we're going to use for the rest of the form elements. So it's good that we got this over with. Next, we'll do a social widget. So we'll do search widget, and then we'll do social widget, and I'm gonna say connect with us. And I'll just lower the font size for these headings a bit. Okay, so connect with us. We don't have an input here. Oops, sorry, wrong one. This is connect, and all it has is some text, like click the icons below to get in touch or follow us on our social networks. Okie doke. So this is Helvetica Nude, same font size, 14 pixels. Actually, I'm gonna make this 12 pixels since it's the sidebar, and it's a bit different from the rest. I'm gonna keep the same line height of 21 pixels. Let's add some social icons. I have a set here. It's called SoMicro. I'll provide the link in the description. And I'm just gonna choose a few like Dig, Dribble, Facebook, and Twitter. Grab those and paste it in your document. Let's do a quick we'll space them by 7 pixels each. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, one thing I forgot to do with the widget is a separator. So we need, something that separates each widget. And that comes in form of a simple line. Okay, a simple 1 pixel line, sep. I'm gonna say widget sep. It's gonna have the same color as the rest of our borders. And it looks something like this. Let's align it with the baseline grid. Okay. And let's go ahead and duplicate it. Don't worry if this doesn't look right at this point. Once we get into CSS and start writing the correct values for font sizes and line heights and paddings and so on, it's all going to come together really nicely. The next one I want to do is a widget that displays ads. So we'll make a new one. Okay, something like that. We'll call it add widget. Get rid of these and get rid of this. Go here. We're going to copy the layer style and we're going to copy the text. And we'll make 2 rectangles, 125 by 125. White. Let's paste this. 125, 125. Alrighty, let's align it. And duplicate it. Okay, like that. All right, and since we're here doing add widgets, we can create a new one that has a very similar structure, but targets a different type of ad, and that is 260. So our new ad is 260 by 120. Okay. Perfect. So we now have two custom widgets, actually 3 custom widgets. And when we get to the WordPress bit, we'll actually make these into custom widgets. Okay, perfect. We need one last thing to complete the sidebar, and that is a widget that displays a list, because lists are very common in widgets. So we got to do the styling for that as well. I'm going to copy the connect widget. Okay, simple list widget. Get rid of these, and get rid of that, and we'll do a list of links, like link 1, link 2, link 3. Okay, we'll do bold, and we'll apply 3D 99CA as the color. Okay, what about nested lists? Well, we can do that as well. Like something like this, link to 1, link to 2. Okay, we'll do something like this in front of them. Very basic styling here, guys. Oops. All right, something like that. Now our sidebar is complete. We have all the elements that we need for for moving on into the HTML and CSS part. Next thing that we're going to do, and the last one for this video, is the footer. And the footer actually has a very similar structure with the top area. So what I'm going to do is create a new group, call it footer, and I'm going to grab the top BG and duplicate it in the footer. Okay, align it with the bottom. Okay, something like that. Let's make sure we leave some space there. Something like that. And the footer also has a couple of widgets. So I'm gonna copy those from the sidebar. So I'm gonna create the list and connect. I'm gonna grab these and duplicate them in my footer. Okay, let's bring them here. Okay, now each widget will have 3 columns at its disposal, so we'll do something like this. Let's get rid of that. And the difference between the sidebar footers and the footer, and the sidebar widgets and the footer widgets, is the form of the heading. It's going to be a bit smaller, and it's going to be uppercase. So 14 pixels and uppercase. Okay, the rest is exactly the same. And we're going to organize our footer widgets in 3 parts. So we have 3 here, 3 columns here, and the rest of the 6 columns will be occupied, let's say, with another widget that's gonna span the whole 6 columns. So I'm gonna quickly duplicate this, the connect widget. Okay, we'll call this simple text widget. Get rid of these. let's add some extra content here. Something like that. All right, so that's the widget area from the footer. The very last thing, and we are done, is to add some copyright information at the bottom. So using the rectangle tool, I'm gonna draw a rectangle, something like this. Okay, the color is going to be the same color we used in this area. So go ahead and copy that. I'm gonna say copy area, base. I'm gonna add a stroke, 1 pixel, D7, D7, D7. Okay. And let's add some simple text. And we're gonna say something like copyright adaptive 2012 and all the other stuff that usually goes in the footer. Okay, now this will borrow, the text on this will borrow the same style we have on all the other elements, so there is actually no need to create any custom styles. I'm just gonna make this a bit bigger. Okay, something like this. And also I'll create a small link that says go to top. All right. And actually that's it, guys. That's it for the blog index. We made our header with the menu, the drop-down menu, and then the main content area, the blog index. We created a sidebar. And finally, we finished with the footer, with the widget area and some of the copyright information. All right, well, that's it for this video. The next video you'll see will be about the single post. We'll do a quick design there, see what other elements we need to style before we move to the next stage. And also we'll tackle the comment area in the comment form, since we'll create a very custom comment system or comment area, and we'll spend some time making that very, very nice. But until next time, thanks for watching. This is Adi signing out.